Hello, my name is Shadley. Welcome back for another episode of Victoria 3 as Persia. In previous episode, we managed to, well, we built another university. We got our economy growing a little bit. We just got the research for the mechanical tools, which should help us a little bit further improve our economy. We are increasing our construction speed a bit further, but we still need to get a lot of iron to really cover the cost, because it tends to get rather expensive. We do have a lot of money in the investment pool, but unfortunately right now, since we only got the traditionalism, it won't really be used all that much. So I'm not going to worry about that quite that much yet. The private sector is currently building some more plantations, including opium, which is definitely good for the goal for the series, because the goal is to be the leading producer of both oil and opium. Now, right now we are the fifth largest producer of opium, actually. So we have managed to increase the production at least a little bit. We're almost number 4, actually. So catching up to Jing is going to be a little bit difficult, and then overtaking India is going to be even more difficult. Or, well, East India Company, to be precise. So we've got the sulfur mine over here. Is that, actually, no, was it? It's Caraman, right. They are still hiring in there. But that should at least provide a bit of the sulfur needed for the paper production, which should then start reducing some of the government buildings costs. Actually, if we have a look at it in here, so goods for the government buildings, paper does make almost 5,000 of that. Clippers make a tiny bit, but that's comparatively basically nothing. Government wages do make quite a bit as well. If we were to reduce the authority a little bit, or the wages a little bit in here, as -10 in authority, it's not that bad though. It may reduce the approval rating of some of the opposition parties a tiny bit, but I think we can live with that. It might have a bit of an impact on the standard of living, mind you, as well. Not in a good way, mind you, but we can get the extra money right now. Oh, and there we go. We got the iron mine in here. That should reduce the construction cost a little bit further. It's still quite significant, mind you, but it should be reducing at least over time. We got the... Actually, local production, is it only beginning right now? I suppose that was the first iron mine, wasn't it? Yeah, and they haven't actually hired anyone here yet. Are they actually hiring anyone? They should be, but I suppose the tool price... Oh, there we go. Hey, there's the armed reserves. And next is going to be the stock exchange. After that, in the military, we might want to get the Napoleonic warfare. I mean, that's going to be spreading anyway, so that's probably something we won't even have the chance to research. Whereas the stock exchange is definitely something we do want to get, reducing the trade costs, and also improving the things spreading around our market a little bit further. There's also the things like currency standards would allow us to get the per capita taxation law, possibly. It might not happen, but we can at least hope to get that at some point. There's also the empirism, which is currently spreading. That's going to give us a bit more influence, which would be nice, and wealth education access. And we can actually get another investment into the education, so that's actually pretty good. We will need a lot more bureaucracy, though, to cover all of that, but that's fine. Oh, Napoleon... Well, I suppose the Napoleon warfare is the only one that can start spreading right now. So the private sector, the opium plantation is now underway. Oh, logging camp, okay. That's in our capital, even. Even better. The iron mine is not quite fully hiring. I suppose the tooling workshop could use another level. But that is also, well, problem is, like, the tooling price over here isn't too bad, so it's not that profitable right now. But at the same time, the cost of the iron and the wood are pretty high, so that caused a lot of issues there. But we did get the, well, we're getting these arms industries in here. Can we actually get any of the levels for it? No, it's just going to be the muskets, which it's going to be a little bit on the expensive side, I suppose. But that will then reduce the need for the import of the small arms, which honestly would probably help. Ukiva is having a bit of revolution. So they are. In the meanwhile, we're just slowly colonizing Turkmenia. Getting the wheat farm after the arms industry. After that, I suppose what we could do... Actually, what do we need right now? The standard of living is still pretty bad. If we have a look at the market... Small arms, tools is going to be pretty important. We could just go ahead and get another tooling workshop over here, I suppose. Oh, Russia size we keep. Okay, fair enough. And the area that we control in here is almost continuous. It's currently in 2 separate portions. But I'm sure that it will be improving over time. The population is increased. Actually, how's the population looking like? So there's a decent portion is Persians, like 30%. And there's the intensive agriculture. Right. I suspect that we might have a bit of issues with fertilizer. Oh, actually. Where's the... Here's the sulfur mine. We'll go ahead and build a fertilizer plant in here. It may not be needed too much yet, but I'm sure that that's going to provide some demand for extra sulfur production. And then I suppose what we can do now, it might be a little bit risky, well, somewhat risky, I suppose. But the rice farms, let's get the soil enriching farming there, and I suppose livestock, we can get the increased wool gathering. May not be completely profitable, but I suppose that will at least get us a little... Oh, Russia wants to propose an alliance. You know what? I'll take it. Again, they are strong, so they can help us, you know, stay independent and maybe expand a little bit further along some of the areas. Especially against Kabul would be nice. Oh, Russia's again guaranteeing our independence. Oh, fractional distillation is spreading to us. Alright then. I mean, it's not something that we are researching, mind you. I was just going to let it spread over time. I mean, at least the tech spread has been improving slowly. We're almost at 25% literary rate, mind you, so that's already pretty good. And the arms industry, that's going to take another 3 months. That's going to be done. Then we'll go ahead and get the... Actually, can we get a decree in here? I don't know if we can. Well, we don't have the points, but yeah, in theory, we probably could. But at least we are spreading here fairly quickly. And over time, we can probably get a... But, I mean, I suppose... most of these areas aren't going to be very... valuable in a lot of sense. We can get a bit of tea plantations over there, I suppose. We can get some opium on the Persia state over here, and then there's a few other areas that we can probably get at least some useful things. But, you know, it's not a exactly prime real estate over here. The wheat farm is, I think we are... No, we haven't started quite working or building that yet. I'm looking on iron demand right now. We are still okay in the iron demand, actually. We'll go ahead and get the construction sector over here to work with the iron frame building already. And it's going to require even more tools, which we do not have, mind you. That's also going to increase the construction speed a bit further, at some extra cost, mind you. But, you know, we need to keep that going a bit further as much as possible. We are almost at 5 million in GDP at least, so that's good. We did start with, like, a bit shy of 3 million, so it hasn't actually increased that much yet. But, of course, our population is much smaller than what we had in the Korea playthrough, for example. We've still got a decent legitimacy, and the literary rate is at least in a much better shape already than what we had at this point in time in the Korea playthrough. Partially because we did start with the religious schools from the get-go. That makes quite a difference in the long run. So the wheat farms are underway. We can probably go ahead and move the... Was it over here? Yes, the road maintenance. We're going to just put that directly into the capital for a little while. At least for the tooling workshop to be built faster. The wheat farm doesn't take that long, so that can stay as is. And is that going to be bridging the gap here? When the halves of the state that we... Oh, yeah, there we go. Do we have room for a... No logging camps yet. We could have an opium plantation, though. You know what? That could be potentially a decent source of money for the locals here. We're not going to do that yet. We've got the 2 iron mines in here. Well, they still got a little bit difficult as hiring at times. Well, I suppose a tooling workshop will probably help. I suppose another thing... Oh, financial district fully employed. What do they own, actually? They own the sulfur mine. Ah, okay. Well, there we go. So we've got the coal mine. It's not really profitable yet. There's not a lot of buyers, but I'm going to go ahead and subsidize it right now. Just to get the production up. And then that's once there's a lot of production, then it's going to be cheaper option to buy as a fuel rather than wood, for example, or fabric, to reduce the wood price even further. The slaves of Ashgabat. Unshackle every Persian pound. Free then facilitate the relocation. That's going to be a bit of extra expenses. We'll release all Persians from slavery. But that should at least help some of the population. They're probably not all of it, mind you, but hopefully it's at least some. And the tooling workshop is now underway. The private sector is building... Oh, they're building a textile mill in Colossus. As well as the logging camp in our capital. So that is getting the boost from the construction... or the infrastructure thing already. Invitation to join the power block. You know what? I will join that. Does that mean that I'm in their market now? No, I'm not. I mean, technically speaking, what I probably could do is I could try and join their market as long as I stay independent. Although I don't know if I can join their market easily. We could make a trade agreement. Maybe it just takes a while for the... maybe actually, let's have a look at the power block. Sovereign Empire. Oh, vassalization. Authority per subject. Oh, okay. So what do we have members? I am there. Finland, Kiva, Kishijuj, Hamara, Baltic Governance, Urujuj, and then Ortajuj. Okay, so yeah, they are colonizing or vassalizing a lot of stuff over there. My mana, can I actually potentially vassalize you? Not yet. We're guaranteed their independence, so that might be part of the reason. How about if I stop guaranteeing their independence? Will that then allow us to do some stuff? Probably not yet. We've still got fairly good relations, I reckon. Yeah, so that's not going to happen. Alright then. So now we're in the same power block. Are we still independent in market? I believe we are. Again, I wouldn't mind joining their market, actually. I don't know if we are able to do that. Trade agreement probably wouldn't work out. There's not really a trade league as such, I suppose. But yeah, we're getting a little bit more ground in here. We're now at 5 million in GDP, 25% in literary rate. We're slowly working on building more tools. We're getting the logging camp hopefully done soon enough, and then the extra textile mill will be pretty useful. I think one of the things that I could do is I could take the logging camps in here and just enable privatization on those. We are getting a little bit money from that, or we were getting a little bit of dividend from that, which is going to reduce our income, but at the same time, the extra productivity in there will actually be probably fairly useful in the long run anyway. So we still got plenty of things that we are in very high demand, like iron and tools. And fertilizer, for that matter. Which I can't really... Well, actually, I do wonder, is there a import... I could import some from the Russian market, I suppose. Also got a little bit extra bureaucracy right now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the institution for the colonial affairs to level 2. That's going to allow us to get through all of this faster, and then once we've gone through all of that, I don't know if we'll be able to do any colonization in Africa, and that's probably going to be beyond our reach. But what we can then do is we can just reduce the levels. Maybe even... Well, maybe not get rid of the law entirely, but we can reduce the levels at least afterwards. As long as we got the extra bureaucracy right now, we might as well utilize it. Let's have a look at the diplomatic actions. Is there a... Or diplomatic demands, rather. I do actually wonder, is our vassal... Oh. If we were to annex them... there's a chance that they will accept that. There's a 40% chance. There's not a lot of enemies that would support them. Russia would probably support our side. Military power difference is already pretty high. Willingness to be annexed by Overlord at 4 Liberty Desire. Ah, right, so if we can get the Liberty Desire even lower, that might be even better. And then there's the impact of demand at war goal and base value of 50. Okay, so... There is a bit of a boost there, I suppose, overall. But yeah, we've got a little bit of work to do on making sure that they are more likely to accept that. Let's see, increase autonomy? No, we don't want to do that one. We don't actually want to get them or give them more liberty desire or anything like that. I think what we are going to do is... oh, we can impose laws. I forgot about that. Not necessarily going to do that. Not on this particular subject, anyway. But we do want to get that state into our, well, economy in total, or in full. Oh, trade agreement with Russia. You know what? I will take it. Will that mean that we can then maybe join the Russian market? We're not part of the Russian market yet, I don't think. No, it's probably not going to happen. But anyway, that's at least allowing us to do a lot more trading with them. Which actually means that it's going to be very cheap trading as well. Well, relatively speaking, cheap trading. The artillery, actually, I do wonder. If we were to import artillery from... No, the Russian market doesn't really have a lot. Also, would not really be all that profitable. Oh, that reminds me. Actually, we've got the armies. Let's go ahead and upgrade all of that infantry into line infantry. That's going to be a bit of extra cost, but it's also going to improve our military size, or military quality quite a bit. Which should then improve our prestige a lot more further. Oh, and just got the tooling workshop done. There we go. Saving us a little bit of money right now. Of course, as soon as we continue the construction speed, it's not going to be that much of a saving. We did also get the logging camp done. Right, so currently we're building the fertilizer plant, so we can remove the road maintenance there. Let's go ahead and go for Karaman and get the road maintenance in there. We are almost building multiple buildings, but I suppose right now we're still losing a bit of cash. I think, what do we need right now? Also, iron is a very good choice. Lead would be a... Well, I suppose the lead mine is not working full speed, so that's part of the reason. The iron is definitely something we do need more, but I suppose we are working on getting the, well, I suppose the atmospheric engine is going to take a little while. Stock exchange is going to take a decent bit as well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get one more university, probably in the capital. And then we could probably go ahead and get another iron mine or two in here. At least one. Tooling workshop is still not really profitable, but I suppose the iron price, well, yeah, the iron price is bloody insane right now. Right, so we got that. Our military is now a bit stronger. How does it compare to the Cabal's military, actually? They have a lot of barracks in here, of which are mostly irregulars and hussars, so it would be higher in quality. So if we were to go and demand, let's see, Conquer State, not a lot of infamy. They might actually accept that. It would be a bit expensive for monetary side of things if they refuse it. Let's not do that quite yet. Let's double check that we are improving relations with our... Oh, no, we can't actually improve relations with them. So our next subject, that's still 40% chance. Oh, no, we're gonna demand it anyway. Oh, okay, they do not accept that. We're not gonna activate the army quite yet then, but we are gonna annex them regardless. They're going to have their armies in there. I don't know if there's going to be anyone else that is going to be leaning... I mean, Russia is leaning towards us already. We could sway them, but we don't initially have to. We'll keep them as sort of an option there if someone else joins in. And I think one army will be enough to just annex them. I think we'll probably send the first army. It might be a bit more expensive. We're going to wait until they are ready. But no, we're going to mobilize it already. Some of them got at least upgraded, so that's good. And then you can go to the front. You'll be advancing, and probably advancing very quickly as well. How does it compare to their army? They've got some line infantry and some irregulars, some cannons and dragoons. Okay, so not a huge difference in there, I suppose, in the end. Arms industry is now fully employed, surprisingly enough. Well, it's not really a surprise, let's be honest. But it is good. I've still got one more construction sector that is using wood as the basis. And I believe that was Fars, wasn't it? Oh no, hold on a minute. So we've got these three. Is it Isfahan? Isfahan. Right, so that one's something that we still need to increase. But to be fair, we could probably increase the iron production in here quite drastically. Maybe some of the coal... Oh, right, the coal mine is not really profitable right now. Although there is now a decent bit of buy orders within the market. Is that because of people are... Well, yeah, it's mostly population consuming it. So while it's not a huge profitability, it still does help. Although, how much are we spending on the subsidy? We are spending quite a bit on subsidies. Let's actually have a look. Tooling workshop is quite a bit. The coal mine is actually not that bad. It's minus 50 total. Oh, it's 50 total. Right, not productivity of minus 50. That makes more sense. Food industry is also costing us a little bit extra. That's probably just helping with the wages, really. I think it'll probably still make a profit, just not quite as much. Even if we don't give it subsidies. But we should be able to annex our vassal here fairly shortly. No one joined in this, did they? No. And there we go. War has started. And there's already the first battle, which is going to be a pretty clear victory. Although the attack and defense value is about the same. But we just got the manpower advantage by quite a bit. Now, there will probably be a bit of a lack of workers over here for a lot of these things. But that is going to be a fairly substantial amount of GDP. I mean, it's 600,000 right now. It might drop a little bit initially, but once we get the... Oh, there we go. Actually, are we part of the... Yeah, we're still part of our own market. East Fnagnus. I guess we'll give it a little bit of money to the Dutch East Indies. Krakatoa just exploded. That's the second battle. The enemy's still having a lot of issues. I mean, they don't have a lot of manpower in there, mind you. So this should be a fairly quick battle. And soon enough, we shall win the war. We shall annex. They, of course, will not take that peace deal yet. Okay, we just need to do, like, one more battle, I believe, which should be probably this one. And then I suspect that all of that is ours. I mean, we can have... Well, actually, we're currently at 50%, so no, we need one more battle after that, I guess. Yeah, now it's 75%. But soon enough, we'll have the victory. And in the meanwhile, the fertilizer plant is almost done. Then we're going to probably switch all of the wheat farms as well using fertilizers, at least a lot of them. Which will probably mean that even more fertilizers are needed, but that's going to be a start. And there's the last battle. And there we go. We have annexed. So they left the thing, of course. Actually, do we have... We've got a couple barracks in here, which are part of the... Oh, they're part of the second army. That's fine. Right, we got a lot of plantations. And I mean a lot of plantations, actually. Right, the wheat farms, we could probably go for the soil enriching farm. Fertilizer demand is going to be pretty high after that, but that's fine. The urban center, we're going to get the market squares in there. And then that's probably going to be good enough. There's most likely going to be fairly high... Yeah, there's a lot of migration heading down this way right now. Which probably means that all the buildings are going to be profitable. We already got 5.7 million in GDP. That's a fairly decent chunk or jump in there on that. We got quite a bit of radicals because of that, mind you. We've got 9 million in population. We do still need to start getting a bit more bureaucracy, actually. So I'm going to go ahead and build that. Maybe we'll build one over here. Now, that's not going to be a good idea. Right, now, Luristan, on the other hand. Or maybe a Brez. We got 3 already there. What about the... You know what? No, Mazandaran is going to get one. Speaking of which, we're getting a extra one in here. Right, so we can remove the road maintenance in there, and we can assign it over here to build the university slightly faster. And now I'm guessing the fertilizer plant should be... Well, it's starting to hire. Faith knows no borders. Man, we can improve relations with them, which might actually be useful. Or intelligentsia gets a bit of a boost there. We don't have that massive boost on the intelligences or the clergy or Lema's approval there, so we'll just want to have a bit more to keep that conversion boost there. We're still expanding quite a bit in Turkmenia. And now, Mamana, are you willing to... I could make you a tributary again. You would not accept that. How far are you from annexation? It's minus 10 only. Well, but then of course, we basically need to get to like plus 100, I reckon, to get them as a vassal. That's a little bit easier said than done. I'm guessing the turmoil over here, well, it's kind of going up and down. It was 26%, now it's 26.5, but it was over 30% once we won the war. So I suspect that it's, you know, fluctuating a bit. I'm sure that it will be improving over time. We've got the port over here, actually. That's already cargo port. Excellent. So that's a bit more convoys for us. And we've got a whole lot of these plantations and such. Hey, Colonial Affairs upgrade to level 2. There we go. That should increase the colonization speed a bit further. So it's 2% per day at this point. Oh, which 2% is the max there. Okay. Burning ashes. I'm going to pay a bit of extra. At the same time, is there anything that we could start reducing costs for? I mean, I suppose just reducing the construction costs would already probably make quite a difference. We're still paying 17,000 iron, makes 10,000 of that. Or we could just, you know, not build too much with the government sector for a little while. Once we got on these things built. Let the private sector build another sulfur mine and a textile mill and all that. And utilize some of the investment pool, because right now we are spending a lot of money. We do not necessarily want to take any loans as far as we can avoid it. No, Caraman's having a bit of infrastructure issues as well. Right, so it is. So there's a bit of a low population, so that it doesn't get too much from the pops there. And there's a lot of different buildings in there already. I suppose the fertilizer plant in particular is 3 used for the infrastructure. So that is what kind of tips us over the limit there. Right, we got the extra university, so that's going to get us to close to like 58 something. Which admittedly we still need a lot more innovation to catch up with the tech in certain aspects and all that. Which I think we can do that. How we're looking on the right, so stock exchange, that's 12 more weeks. That's going to allow us to hopefully start getting our economy in a bit better shape. There's also the banking and currency standards, so those two we do need to get, as well as the empirism. That's probably going to be our... Well, that's going to be spreading already before we get to that. So currency standard is going to be something that we'll start working on next after this. Well, after the cycle there. Looks like the textile mills are going to be hopefully... I don't actually know. I suppose the clothing is still very high in demand in our market, so there's that. Did we didn't actually inherit any factories from our former vassal in here. It's a bit of a shame. All of that is fine. We've got plenty of radicals, and it's still increasing. Right, I suppose the standard of living has dropped quite drastically recently, so that's, well, definitely got a bit of a part to play there. We're losing a lot of money. I suppose some of that is the additional expenses. Don't suppose there's a lot of, let's have a look. Buildings, building registry, things that we could perhaps try selling. I suppose the coal mine we could probably go ahead and... We're going to stop subsidizing and we'll privatize that. I think we'll also privatize the fertilizer plant. That's going to give us a bit more cash reserves to work with. Plus, I suppose the productivity of those will be slightly improved, and a bit more wealth is going to go into the population, which is probably not a bad idea, let's be honest. So we're currently maxed out on the colonies over there. I suppose what I could do, I could establish a colony over here in Merv as well. That might not be a very profitable colony for a while, but... oh, actually, it starts with a subsistence farm there. Well, that's quite nice. It's much better than what we had in Turkmenia. But yeah, we'll start colonizing both of these, and we'll hopefully be able to get further inland. Their stock exchange is going to be researched very, very shortly. There we are. And that should allow us to have a bit more bureaucracy as well from the... well, actually, we don't have any trade deals that don't... or any trade deals that actually use any bureaucracy right now. But I'm sure that the market access will then start reducing some of the prices at least. For things like iron and... well, maybe not too much on the iron, but some of the other stuff, maybe on like local level. It will help with the productions as well. The iron mine in our capital is now completed, and then there's the government administration. Alright, let's go and cancel the road maintenance and move it in there. So that way we can get the government administration built. We can get a little bit more bureaucracy. Probably not a huge amount, mind you, but I'm sure that will still help. And then we can probably let the private sector take over the construction for a little while, because there is a 1.6 million in there, which I kind of want to tap into right now. I suppose the textile definitely won't hurt, and the sulfur mine probably won't hurt either. Oh dear, diplomatic play against us. Uprising. Oh no. Okay, well that's going to be a bit expensive on the money side of things, but I suppose if we don't worry about it too much, so there's no progress on either one of these. I don't think they have much of an army though. They don't. Can I add a war goal? No, I can't add any war goals. They want me to give up with the lands in there, but of course they don't really have much of an army. I don't think there's anyone really leaning towards them either. Oh, there's a slavery ban being pushed. Now, I'm pretty sure that this would probably anger the landowners. Yeah, it would. It wouldn't radicalize them, but it's still not got that much support yet. It's only got 13%. So it's not really worth the hassle, because it probably wouldn't go through. Eventually, we probably do want to ban slavery at some point, but we don't actually need to worry about it quite yet. Okay, they're starting to move some troops. We can probably go ahead and send the smaller army into for this one. Although, is that... no, it's got plenty of room still. Yeah, we'll start mobilizing and move it into the front line. That'll probably be good enough. There's only one unit in here of irregulars. They got another two that they might be slowly recruiting, though. But it's irregulars, it's not going to be much of an issue. And is there... right, so we are spending quite a bit on the construction. That's about as far as we can get right now, I think. The exam is going to be done in a few weeks, so that's going to be completed before the government administration building. Which admittedly, that is still going to be quite useful. Our market could definitely still use a lot more clothing. Are we still the leading... well, we're not leading producer of opium, but we are number 4. We have overtaken Egypt. Actually, yeah, I suppose we have overtaken Egypt. We are still about half of what Great Qing has, so that shouldn't be... oh, it's probably not going to be that simple to just overtake. I mean, we just need to build a lot of opium plantations, to be fair. I'm pretty sure that we will be doing that a lot. I don't suppose there is any good location to sell that, perhaps. Oh, Qing would be willing to buy a lot. That would take a lot of the convoys, but I think that profitability is pretty good. That's 135 that we'd be selling as well. You know what? Yeah, sure. That's going to make it a bit more profitable for us to produce even more. But I do see that we are actually out of time with this episode, so we'll need to see how this war ends in our victory, probably, in the next episode. But anyway, if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, get the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.